And do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, if I could go back and vote for one of the two, I'd vote for Donald Trump
Okay, why so?
because he's deporting the illegal immigrants.
Okay. Why do you want to do that?
Because they hurt the country.
Okay. And why do they hurt the country?
They suppress wages.
Can you give me any evidence that they do? Or actually, I'll ask you this question, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think legal immigrants suppress wages?
Yes,
Yes? So do you
of
want to ban
course.
all immigration?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, by the way, there's no evidence that all immigration reduces wages. There's actually no
Well,
evidence at all of that.
yeah. Well, when they come from lower living conditions, then they'll accept lower living conditions and get paid less than Americans.
Yeah. So can you give me any source that indicates that immigration as a whole lowers wages?
No, I don't have sources. It's just basic sense.
It's just, like, trust me, bro, because, like, that it would also
No,
increase
it's
demand for goods and services, which would create more jobs in the context of our economy, right?
what?
They would also demand goods and services, which would create, more jobs in our economy as well.
No, they don't spend as much as Americans because they get paid way less.
No, they will only get paid less because it is a case that they're undocumented. If we provide a pathway to citizenship, they won't be able to be paid less.
Okay, and I said I would vote for Donald Trump because he would deport the undocumented ones.
Yeah, you said you wanted to ban all immigration, though, so it's not just undocumented. So you're trying to portray it as just undocumented. You want to get rid of all immigration.
Yeah, and he
Wait, so I have a
also,
question. Do you think everyone that's in the country that's foreign born is a net negative to our economy?
no, not everyone.
Okay, so explain to me specifically.
Overall.
You think overall they are?
Yeah.
Oh, what makes you think that?
Well, like I said, they suppress wages.
Nope, no evidence of this. You literally are just whipping this right out of. This
No
is
evidence.
crazy. This is crazy. You apply this just to people who immigrate to the country. Do you apply this to Irish immigrants?
Yeah, of course.
You do. So you're against all immigration throughout the entirety of America's history, right? So, like, even
Yes.
in, like, the
No,
early
no, no.
1900s and at Ellis Island, you disagree with it there?
We were producing things then. We're not now.
Wait, so then do you disagree with it? Yes or no? And yes, we still do produce things.
No, no, and
We actually had higher domestic manufacturing investment under the Biden-Harris administration, and under the Trump administration, it's
okay.
declined.
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about Ellis Island
Yeah,
when
do you
they all
disagree
came
with Ellis
immigrating
Island?
then.
So you don't disagree
No,
with
because we
Ellis
were
Island, even though they
no,
had
because we were
literally
producing
3 to 7
things then.
hours of approval rates, right? It would take 3 to 7 hours to go through the system, right, legally at Ellis Island.
Yeah, we needed them then, and
You
they
need
assimilated.
Okay, so we needed them then, but we don't need them now. And also, what
No,
does assimilation mean?
uh, to to become into the dominant culture and not
What do you mean
just
by
not
dominant culture? Can you tell me what this is?
what is the dominant culture?
Yeah, what? Yeah, tell me what's good about the culture in America.
Well, it created the largest superpower of all time.
No, no, no. Tell me what's good about the culture in America.
What's good about it? It created America, which is the greatest
No, no.
superpower of all
What
time.
is good about the culture? Can you tell me? Can you give me examples?
I can tell you what the culture is.
No, can you give me examples of the culture specifically that you think is
Yeah,
good?
yeah, Christian, European.
Is that it? So you're just a racist. You're just
Those
a
are the
racist piece of
two.
shit. You're literally
In what way?
European. Europe, you mean another continent. So our culture is another continent?
No, it's based around. It's based around because
So
all the
you base
people that
so by
made
the
the
way, so
country.
immigrants, right? So people that came from Europe to the United States.
But yeah, they made the dominant culture from Europe, and they
Okay,
made
wait,
it
wait, wait.
similarly to
So
how
people who
Europe is.
came, from places in Europe and built the culture. So you're saying that our culture is based on immigration?
Mm, no,
No?
they founded it.
Wait, wait. So
Founding
then
a country.
can you give me one element of our culture, right, that specifically was not through immigration that you like? Because Christianity and European, those didn't like originate.
Well, founding a country is different than immigrating into a already developed country.
Oh, okay. You mean going in people that existed there, right? Sealing their land, right? That specifically. So it's okay in that context,
Yeah.
but it's not okay
So,
when people specifically are trying to legally immigrate to the country.
so are you saying that
Wait,
immigrants
can you tell me
do
why you
do
think
that?
it's can you tell me why it's good in the context in which you're literally referencing people stealing land?
I didn't say it's good. I said it's what made the country, not through immigration. Are you saying that's what immigrants do?
Wait, no,
They
but
come in and steal land
immigrants
and
came
genocide
after,
people?
right? Immigrants came after, and you're saying that was a part of the culture because you said it was European Christian, which came through the context of broadened immigration after the stealing of land and of people that existed here. And then now you're trying to
Yeah.
like revise history and act like that's not the aspect of our history that needs to be
No.
acknowledged. And also,
No,
you're
I said it's
literally you can't
different.
name a single aspect of our culture that specifically again is unique to the United States. You can't. It's all going to be like as a have some type of relevance, right? And typical with immigration, right? Because it's a huge aspect of our culture.
No, you said it's the same thing. I said it's different, and it is.
And would you like
Founding a
to
country and
provide the
immigrating to
distinction?
a country.
Would you like to provide the distinction that you're saying is relevant? Because I forgot what you were trying to reference.
The difference between founding a country and immigrating to a developed one.
This isn't finding a country, and also you're not understanding again. So like if you want to talk about by the way, there was already developed communities that existed, right? The fact that you don't recognize them as developed communities is exactly the historical revisionism
I never
that we're
said that.
arguing against. Why do you feel the need to like revise history in order to try and
I
make
never
yourself
said
look
that.
better?
Never said there were no
That's
communities.
exactly what you just did, though. You didn't read the history books. You clearly didn't pay attention in history class.
When did I say there were no communities?
You just said that going to a developed area, right? So it was already developed. There was developed civilization that existed there.
Yeah, and they changed it
Okay, so that's wait.
and
So you're
made
saying
their
it's
own.
justified in that context?
I never said that. I said founding a country is different than immigrating to a developed country.
Again, there was already a developed country, and you're saying stealing land and people, right, is going to be preferable to just legally immigrating to a developed country?
I said it's different
Okay, what's relevant about the distinction that makes it so that like it's going to be worse for someone to come to the legally immigrate to our country?
because you asked what made American culture that wasn't through immigration. I said the founding of it.
Okay, so and you think that in okay, so then you think that because you can make it distinct and because it's somehow wait, what about that makes it good though? That it still comes from a different
Yeah,
area or from around the
yeah. I
world.
still never said
Wait,
it's
if
good.
your issue was that the culture is coming from different areas around the world and not from here, isn't that same issue present in that context?
In what context? Elaborate.
Yeah, so specifically, you're saying that the culture of the United States is dependent upon Christian and European, which is from a different continent. So your issue in terms of immigration is culture coming from places around the world and changing the culture that exists here. But you don't have an issue with it in that context.
Yeah, because that culture made the greatest country in the world.
Wait, so how is this the greatest country in the world?
It's the most powerful the most powerful country in the world.
So just being the most powerful makes you
In
the greatest
in
country? I don't
no,
think
and
that
it's
power
better.
makes you the greatest. That's
Well, it's better
ridiculous.
than it's better than. I
Wait, so
didn't
I have
mean
a
to say
question.
that.
So I have a question then. If the became the most powerful, would you have said that they are the greatest country in the world?
No, no, I didn't mean that. It's
No.
better.
Okay, so then obviously you don't mean that in terms
Yeah,
of
I
quote unquote
misspoke.
power, whether or not that demonstrates whether or not it's good. So can you obviously give me an argument here for why you
Yeah,
consider it the greatest country in the world?
yeah, it's better than it's better than all the countries that the immigrants are coming from.
So
That's why they're
can you tell
immigrating
me
here.
what aspect of our country is specifically better, right, than every other country around the world?
Yeah, we have the best infrastructure.
the best infrastructure due to the Biden policy?
No, no.
And we don't have the best
had
infrastructure. That's actually laughable.
okay compared to Europe, which is what I said, the same
Wait,
to
I'm sorry, not just Europe. There's better infrastructure around the entire world, but like we can also
where
we can
where
also
not in Europe where
so can you wait, in Asia? Hello? Asia has incredible
where
infrastructure, especially in terms of high-speed rail.
okay.
We can point to
Do you have an example of that other than Europe or East Asia?
I'm sorry, we can point all around the world, right? You understand in South
Oh,
America
yeah,
has
yeah.
incredible
Just name one.
infrastructure. In Africa has incredible infrastructure. In the Middle East, there's incredible
Where?
infrastructure. There's incredible
Where's in
infrastructure
Africa?
everywhere around the world. You know that, right?
Then why are they coming here? And
Wait, I'm sorry.
yeah, why are they?
You understand that specifically there are going to be conditions around the entire world as to why people will come here. That doesn't mean that it is the case that like there isn't good
And
infrastructure around the entire world though.
so why do people
I think your
immigrate
view
here?
on the
Our
world is
conditions are
incredibly
better.
incredibly simplistic.
Our
Okay, so
conditions are better.
can you tell me what about our infrastructure is better than everywhere around the world?
Yeah, we have plumbing.
We have plumbing.
Our conditions are
You
better
plumbing
than.
exists all around the world. What are you talking about?
No, it
What do you mean
doesn't.
we have plumbing, bro? There's no way
We
you
can't flush
unironically just
toilet
said that.
paper.
He
No.
just said the reason why the U.S. is the best country in the world is because we
Okay,
have plumbing.
have you ever traveled? You can't flush toilet paper
Dude, are you
Latin
dude?
America.
Wait, hold up. You actually think that there's not plumbing in other countries around the world?
No, not as good as ours. Our conditions are better.
Wait, so sorry. What's better about our plumbing, and how do you measure that?
When you go there, you can't flush toilet paper, and here you can.
Well, I'm sorry. There are other countries around the world where you can flush toilet paper.
So, so
Are you
if our
serious?
conditions
I can't
aren't
even
better,
believe this guy, dude. I can't even believe
it's an
this guy's real.
example.
Dude, this guy thinks he's like doing something here. This guy thinks he's like actually like
It's an
making a good
example.
argument that's coherent.
That
Hello? Hello? You think that
well,
the US is the best country in the world because you can flush toilet paper?
it's an example. It's an example. So if our conditions aren't better, why do
Give me more.
immigrants
Give
come
me
here?
more. What are the other examples?
If our conditions aren't better, why do immigrants come here?
Okay, wait. So then, wait, hold up. You could say in some contexts it's better economically speaking. That doesn't mean it is the case that our country is the best country in the world. So you're
Okay,
actually it could be geographical reasons, right? Geographical reasons are very good reasons as to why people come to the United States, right? So now
so
we can address that one, and then two is related to this. Again, if you think you don't want anyone to come to our country anyway, so you think you want to cut
well,
that off completely.
well, no,
So I don't know what's your
not
point with
from
this.
people. I wouldn't bar it from people who come from a country that's better than
Uh,
ours,
wait,
that
hold
has
up.
better conditions than ours.
Actually, U.S. It's U.S. is like really ranked bad in terms of infrastructure.
What are they
Yeah,
ranked?
well, from what I'm seeing here from the World Bank, uh, 36.
Yeah, and all the
36.
other countries ahead of them are Europe and East
Really?
Asia.
So, okay. So, I'll read them. Oh, actually, South Africa's above them. Qatar's above them. China.
All right, yeah, that list is fake.
Oh, that list is fake.
Yeah,
Mexico's above the United States, by the way. The list is fake. By
yeah,
the way, he's just saying
that's ridiculous.
he said the list is fake.
It is.
It's just fake. Yeah. So actually, you know
Yeah,
what? You know
do
what?
you
When I don't like the facts of reality, I just deny them. I
do
just say
you
that they're false. I
do
just
the
act
ba-
like they don't exist. My feelings preside over the facts. Okay, I tell you that.
do the
My feelings are
standard
so much
list.
more important than all of the facts. I tell you.
Find the standard list of living conditions on Wikipedia.
Wait, hold up. You said infrastructure and living conditions are different. You think the U.S. is the
Infrastructure
best?
and
Wait, you think the U.S. is the best living conditions?
no, yeah, they have some of the
Based on
best
what
compared
measure?
to
Based on what measure?
buying power, having
Buying
houses and
power.
food.
Buying power, really? Like, and how do you
Yeah,
measure
having
buying
houses
power?
and food.
Prices of food?
How?
D-
No, having housing, having food.
Having housing and having food. The other countries around the world have greater access to housing and food. And aren't Republicans cutting access to housing and food?
So why do they immigrate
Trump,
here?
wait, no, you understand that through Trump's policy, the big beautiful bill, it cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast every month on average. 2.5 million people off their food stamps on average every month. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Wait, okay, so then why do you support Donald Trump's policies? Because
Because in
clearly
that
that's going to
same
be
bill,
like reducing living standards according to your own standards. So you're saying Donald Trump is making this country worse, right?
No, because in that
Wait,
same
wait.
bill,
But your measure for living standards was the measure specifically in terms of access to food, right, and access to and housing, right, which is being reduced in terms of access because of the tariffs, right, and because of cutting people off of free school lunch and breakfast and off of food stamps. Wait, so then
for a
if that
veteran,
actually reduces the measure for quality of life under your view and makes our country worse under your view. So if that was your measure for how good our country was.
no, it wasn't. No.
No, it wasn't. So tell me, what was your actual measure?
The reason I still support Trump is because in that same bill, billions went to ICE and the border wall.
Okay, so you support the bill even though it cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast simply just because it funds ICE and it
Yeah.
militarizes ICE? You're
Yeah.
crazy. You are crazy. You're actually insane. You understand? So you wanted to make this country worse off because your measure for quality of life and standards was access to housing and food. You want to make this country worse off for hundreds of thousands of Americans every single month, millions of Americans every single month, right? Because it is the
Well,
case that you wanted militarization of ICE, which you can't even show as a measure to benefit our economy and actually would be more negatively impactful for our economy, right?
Yeah, well, the bill had to be negative in government spending to pass.
Well, actually, you know what? You're such a bigot that you literally care more about your bigotry than you care about children having food. You care so much more about your bigotry than you care specifically about people having access to health care, health insurance, and access to housing. You care more about your bigotry and your hate than you care about this country. You are willing to make this country worse because you hate people so badly. But yet you try to...
That's not an
Wait,
argument.
do you consider yourself Christian?
Sorry, but that's not an
Do you
argument.
consider yourself Christian?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would Jesus say about allowing people into the country? Would Jesus argue that? Would he say you should make this country worse in order to militarize ICE? Do you think that that's what specifically Jesus would vote for?
He believed in borders and kingdoms and countries and
Really,
nations.
he went places undocumented. What are you talking about? He
No,
broke
he
the
didn't.
law. He actively broke the law. What are you talking about? He got hung up on a cross because he broke the law.
No, he didn't break any law.
Really? No, he did. That's why
No,
they
he
put him
didn't.
up on the cross.
No, they lied. That's the whole point.
But that's the context of their law. Their law was set up in that way, and they enforced their law.
What law? What law did he break?
So specifically, he broke their laws in terms of quote unquote blasphemy because it wasn't their recognized God.
There were no laws in Rome
Yes,
about
wait,
that.
yes, there were. That's literally what they
No.
were prescribing.
No, the Roman state didn't put him up.
Can you tell me what you consider human law?
He led it up to the Pharisees, and they told him to do it.
So you think that there were no laws in Rome at that time?
Oh my goodness. No.
No?
He didn't break a law. No, there were. He didn't break a law.
Okay. So according
He-
to their own laws, that's exactly what they were enforcing. They did.
No, they weren't the
Okay.
laws. He led it up to the Pharisees. He let them decide.
Wait, so to clarify, I have a question, right? If Jesus were specifically, in 1930s Germany, right, and it is the case that that was happening, right, and it is the case that they specifically were going after like Jewish friends of his that were in his attic, right? Do you think he would lie in order to save the lives of the Jewish people?
He wouldn't need to lie, but he would. Yeah, he would help them.
So he would lie.
He wouldn't need to lie.
Okay, what would you do?
Uh,
Sorry, I'll ask you that.
What would I like if? Would I lie if if they were hiding in my attic? Yeah,
Yeah, so to save their life, correct?
yeah.
Okay, so if you would lie to save their life, you would commit a sin in order to save their life. You would do the right thing, right?
No, that's not a sin.
That is a sin. It's a sin to lie.
No, not like that.
What? That's a sin.
Could we get back to the actual argument?
So wait, do you think it's not a sin to lie?
Not in that sense. Not in that context.
No, that's not a sin. So how is that not a sin? It's literally a lie is a sin.
Because you're.
Thou shalt
saying
not bear
something
false
like
witness.
that's that's the old Ten Commandments.
Okay, so then so it is not a sin to lie.
Do you want to get back to the argument at hand?
I'll go for it, man.
What?
Go for it.
Well, you have to respond to my original point before you went on a tangent.
What was that?
I forget at this point.
Okay, unfortunate. That's tough.
Yeah, unfortunate for you because I just won
What did you win?
the debate.
What? How did you win? On what point?
Uh, well, we can't even remember what happened because you just went on a long
Dude,
tangent
you just
about
claimed
that.
victory and you don't even know what you won on.